Welcome to this edition of the SAU Report. I'm David Parkerson.
And I'm Ross Sims.
Today we will be talking to Jeremy Brumley, Director of Chi Alpha. What is Chi Alpha?
Well, to kind of clear up some things, Chi Alpha is not a fraternity, it's not a sorority, but it's a Christian organization on the campus of SAU that our purpose is to care about the students, to show them that we love them, that we are for them, A lot of times I think that Christians are perceived to be very judgmental. That is not our purpose at all. But our purpose is to encourage the students, to be the best that they can possibly be, to be the men and the women that God created them to be, and to do it with excellence, everything that you do, And so that's really what Chi Alpha is all about, And I believe with all my heart that what I believe is that Jesus Christ was one of the best leaders, if not the best, ever throughout history, and one of the best that we can follow as an example. And so, we try to exemplify that to the students and to teach them those ways so that they can become, great men and women in life, and be happy and be joyful. So that's really what Chi Alpha is,
Well, could you tell us something about yourself? Like, where'd you come from?
I guess I could say I'm from Camden, Arkansas. I guess most of my childhood we traveled, my family and I, all over the United States. I think for the first 6 years of my life I was in probably 25 different states, and then we settled down in Benton, Arkansas, and we lived there until I was 14, and then we moved to Norflet, Arkansas, and then Camden, Arkansas, and then when I graduated high school I moved to Dallas, and then back to Camden, and now I'm here in Magnolia. So,
yeah. How long have you been Chi Alpha pastor?
I have been here going on 3 years after this semester.
How did you get the job as pastor?
Well, that's kind of a question that I want to be very sensitive to the previous directors that were here. The director that was here before me, he was also a businessman, and he totally funded the ministry with what he brought in. And as a businessman, he had a land deal. He bought and sold timber and different things, and I guess just say he had a bad business deal. I think that a lot of people think that he did something illegal, which it wasn't illegal at all. A surveyor surveyed the land that he was wanting to sell. He surveyed it incorrectly. And so he pretty much lost everything. And in order to keep his business going, he had to move into the offices that he had in Louisiana. And, they had asked me to come on staff with Chi Alpha. I did not come here to be the pastor. I just came here to be on staff. And after I was here, I guess 3 months is whenever I found out that I was going to become the man, the guy in charge. And it was very, very difficult. There was a lot of things that I did not have that they require a Chi Alpha director to have, which was a 4-year degree from a university. I did not have that. Then you were required to go through a 9-month internship with another Chi Alpha. I had not done that. Then they desire for you to be licensed as a minister, and I did not have that. Then they asked for you to have your budget raised, and I did not have that. And so I was put in some very difficult circumstances. And but I've been here 3 years, and that's how I got here, and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
What does Chi Alpha do to reach the students on the college campus?
Well, you know, like I said earlier, our main goal, our main purpose is to let the students here know that we care about them. And, you know, in the way that we reach out to them and let them know that we care, you know, we do it through many ways. You know, one way is we try to feed a different group once a week on the campus. And, you know, we don't push our organization, you know, we just bring them into our building and say, you know what, we just wanted to feed you guys. You know, we want to let you know that we care, that we're here. If you ever need anything, you know, we're here, and we want you to have a good time. We want you to feel like this is a second home to you, and that you're welcome to come down here and hang out and just spend time. And so we do a lot of different things. We have services. We do a lot of different things for international students. But I guess that's it.
How did you become a Christian? How did you decide that you were going to do this?
Well, whenever I was 4 years old, my parents were in the ministry. They were pastors, and you know, my dad gave everybody in the building the opportunity, you know, to give their life to Christ. And at the age of 4 years old, you know, probably not even understanding what I'm doing, you know, I made that commitment. And I firmly believe that that is a commitment that you don't just make one time in your life. I think that it's a commitment that you have to live up to every day. It's a commitment that you have to make every day. And you know, that was the first time I made that commitment. And you know, life has been extremely difficult. Of course it is with everybody. You know, life is life. Life is hard, and I've had to go through a lot of difficulties. But I think that, or I know that Christ is the only person that has helped me get through the things that I've been through.
How difficult was it for you in the beginning to become pastor of students so close to your own age?
I would say that it really wasn't that difficult, you know. Before I was the Chi Alpha pastor here, I was a singles pastor, and was the pastor of people my age, and then also people who are older than me. And so I think that now, being a pastor of students who are really a generation younger than I am, I know I look like I'm 21 years old, and when I first came here, I had a student say, "Oh, are you a freshman this year?" And I'm like, "No, I'm the director of your group that you're involved in," you know. But I really hadn't found it that difficult, you know. I think that students need somebody that is somewhere around their age, somebody that is still in touch with, you know, their generation, you know, and what they need. So it really hadn't been that difficult.
What does Chi Alpha do to reach the international students?
Well, I think that international students, one of their greatest needs is to have a home. You know, I mean, they're so far from home, they're so far from family, and I can't imagine being that far away from family that long. You know, some of them are away from home for, you know, the entire 4 years, and never even get to go home to visit. And so, more than anything, we just want to let the international students know that we care about them, and that our building is open, you know, all of the time for them to come just spend time there. You know, we also take the international students to Walmart and to Brookshires once a week, because you know, most of them come from countries where they have, you know, city buses and transportation. and they come here and there's not that, and most of them don't have the money to buy a car, and so they just need, you know, they need somebody to take them to Walmart so they can get things and take them to Brookshire's to get food, and we do that for them. You know, we try to have a game and movie night where they can just come down there and spend time together. We also like to have them come and prepare meals that are from their country because, you know, they love it when somebody is interested in where they come from, and so, you know, we try to let them know that we care about where they came from and try to learn as much about them as possible.
What does Chi Alpha do to try to set them apart from other Christian organizations on campus?
I don't think we try to set ourselves apart, you know, at all. I don't know about that. You know, because I think a lot of times in the body of Christ in the United States, we're too divided anyway, you know, and so I don't want to create another division and say, you know, oh, we're so different from any other Christian organization, you know. We're just people trying to follow Christ, just like the rest of the Christian organizations on campus, you know, and so I don't try to be different from them, you know. But I have to run with the vision and run with, you know, what I feel the students need right now in their life, you know, and whether that brings differences, you know, I'm sure it will, because we all have different personalities, and the leaders of the different groups have different personalities, you know, but we have one common goal, you know, and that's to reach students and let them know about the love of Jesus Christ.
Well, you're married. What challenges do you face with a wife that's also a student?
Oh, well, with her being a student and trying to be the Chi Alpha director's wife, you know, which my job is very, I have long hours. My day usually goes from 8 to 9 a.m. until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, every night of the week. And so it's very difficult for, you know, me needing her to be certain things there with the organization, but yet, you know, she has to go to school, she has classes, she has tests, you know, just like an ordinary student, and then has to tackle the challenges of marriage, you know, as well. And so I tell you, I honor her a lot in taking on so many challenges. But it's difficult, you know, but we're definitely making it through, and I feel very well.
And what are the advantages of having a wife that's also a student?
A lot of advantages. I mean, I think that anybody on campus that knows her is drawn to her, because I think she's the happiest person I have ever met in my entire life, you know. Matter of fact, I was just telling someone that today, you know. I hardly ever see her whenever she does not have a smile on her face, you know, and I think that people are drawn to her because she truly loves people. She is a people person. She has a very compassionate heart, you know, and that's what we're all about, you know, is having compassion on people, about caring for students, and I think that she exemplifies that very well, you know, and so I think that helps, you know, our organization, and I think that it helps with the way people see our organization, you know, when they find out that, oh, this young lady is the Chi Alpha director's wife. And that, I think that she is sets a very good example for our organization.
What is the seventh being?
The seventh being is a vision that I have wanted to see happen for about 6 years. I I guess the last place I was from was Camden, Arkansas, and I moved back there from Dallas, Texas. And whenever I was going to Bible school there, all we did was hang out in coffee shops, spend time together. And then I moved back here, and there's nowhere to go. They rolled the streets up at 5 and 9 p.m., and there's nowhere to go, just spend time together. And, when I came here 3 years ago, I really wanted our building to be a place where students felt like they could come and spend time together. Because I see that is one of the biggest needs on this campus. When you go to other larger universities, people are hanging out, they're out on the campus playing guitars, talking, they're in the student center. And here, they just don't have that. They don't have a place where they can hang out, drink coffee. Myself, I am a major coffee lover. Anybody that knows me thinks that I'm a freak about coffee, but I just love it, and it's always been a desire of mine to open up a coffee shop. And so the Seventh Bean is a coffee house or coffee bar that we are wanting to open up inside of our building to give students a place to go and to spend time and hang out. At late hours of the night, our plan is to have it open from probably 5 p.m. To midnight or 1 a.m. By next semester. Just to give the students a place to study. We also want to give them a stage for students who play guitar or sing or write poetry or whatever. We have a very state-of-the-art, modern stage, and to give them the chance to let people hear their talents and hear the things that they have written.
What all things will Chi Alpha have to do in order to prepare to make it a coffee shop?
Well, to be honest with you, our building is a nice building, but it looks like a business building. And, the students are in business buildings all day long, and that's not really what appeals to them as a place to hang out and to feel comfortable. And so I'm having to do a lot of renovations. I had to knock out several walls to build a stage, and I've built a sound booth, and we're ripping out all the fluorescent lights and putting in hanging lights and spotlights, and doing a lot of painting. I'm ripping up the floors, and we're building a coffee bar in there. And so there's going to be a lot of reconstruction, planning on putting a pool table in there. We've already got a ping pong table and a big screen television. We've got a projector where we watch huge big screen movies. And so, I just want to make it a student center rather than more of a business type building, So that's the goal. And, I don't have people lined up at the door saying, hey, I want to help, And so this semester has been tough on me because I've had to focus on the construction part of it a lot. But those are the things that we're going to be doing.
What do you hope to see for the future of Chi Alpha?
Well, my vision that I stated and what I feel like Chi Alpha is, I just want to see us doing it in a greater fashion, in a greater way than what we are now. I think that what we're doing now is just a stepping stone to what I see us doing, And what I talked about earlier, I want to see us do it in a greater magnitude, I want to change on this campus the way that people possibly may see Christians as being, because I stated earlier about most Christians are viewed as being hypocrites, as being judgmental type people, in which the whole basis of Christianity is around the life of Christ. And Christ was a very loving, compassionate caring person who always lifted people up, who always cared about their needs. And so that is where I see us in the future, as being people who exemplify that.
How do you prepare for the upcoming students who will be coming in next semester?
Well, I like to, I guess at the end of every semester, sit back and evaluate what we've done and determine whether or not it was successful or not, and see if we need to change anything. I guess to give you an example, we used to set up our grill in front of the football field before every home football game and grill hamburgers and hot dogs and sausage and all these things. But it really was not fulfilling our purpose. We were feeding a lot of football players' parents and a lot of staff with the football team and the entire production side of a game. We were feeding all of those people and the coaches. But see, our purpose is to let the students, the football players, know that we care about them. And so, I guess about a year ago, I just evaluated that part of the ministry. And I said, is it accomplishing our purpose? And I didn't feel like that it was. And so, we changed some things, and last semester we were able to bring the football team into our building 3 different times and feed them, and say, what, we're doing this for you, and we're feeding you, and we're giving you just an opportunity to come down here and as a team spend time together, play games, play PlayStation 2, and I think that's something that the teams need. This semester we've been able to feed a lot of the different sports teams on campus, and all of them have just said how much they appreciated just being able to come down there as a team and not, as a coach and their players, and they're battling it out all week, and it just gives the coaches and the students a time where they can just come down there and spend time together. And so I guess to answer your question is that we just evaluate what's been successful and what has not been, and try to determine what the students need and how we can meet their needs in a better way.
And what do you try to do to reach? What does Chi Alpha do to reach other organizations like fraternities or sororities and stuff to try and get them and let them know about Chi Alpha?
I think just like we do with any other student, like last Tuesday night we fed the AKAs and just let them know, hey, we care about we care about you like we do any other group on campus, and I want to do more for the different organizations, but it's just finding what they desire and what they need, and so we hope to do more of that.
Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the community? Well,
I would like for more people to know that we operate solely on a donation type basis, and there's a lot of things that we would like to do.
Okay. We would like to thank you, Jeremy Brumley, for being our guest today on the SAU Report. I'm David Parkerson.
And I'm Ross Sims.